you're going to ask me, oh, I've got to try to think and film at the same time. If you ask me what in the hell I am doing, I have no idea. But this video is just coming up with lyrics and I'm going to go for it randomly. Don't know what I'm doing here. Don't know what I'm doing, but I'm moving the camera too fast. I'm sorry, but you see, I have to be very careful of copyright. There's already a copyright claim on the last video because I used a few, but I don't know what I'm even doing. I should, this should be, these sort of things when you're doing this, if I was a professional instead of an absolute fool, I would be able to do something here. Seems to me that I'm always waiting. Seems to me that I've been waiting for quite a long time. Not only all my life, but waiting at the present time. Waiting. I don't even know what I'm doing. Don't even know what I'm doing here. I really don't. I wish. I wish. Oh, I don't know what I'm even doing here. I really don't. I'm trying to film. Putty's got his eyes slightly open. He said, "You don't know what you're doing, do you?" Do I know what I'm doing, Putty? You look very, you don't almost look like Putty there for a second. You're giving me a sly look. And you're moving, see? He's been completely still. See how, just read the cat. This cat is possessed. It is possessed by a spirit that knows more than me, that reads my mind just like everyone else does around, because they've taken over my life, my existence, my I don't even know what I'm doing, but I should only be with one person because I can't deal with this matrix and the minions that are around. I can't deal with it. No, because I'm, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe that. And it says copyright again. Again. I can't keep up with the technology that is downloading. That is damn well downloading. You know. downloading us at a vast rate because they've already downloaded it. Oh, they're already downloaded it, and they're already downloaded it, and then I don't know. They've messed. They've messed with messing with my mind, and messing with the reality, and messing with. Oh, see, I'm not even filming here. Oh, messing. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm filming. I'm glancing everywhere around the room, glancing at the video on the TV, glancing at the cat, and the video camera is just swirling around this terribly untidy room. And the whole purpose of this video, when I started it, I'm going to keep it on the cat and keep away from the untidiness that is around. My son gave me this. Well, he didn't give it to me. When he lived here for 3 years, he brought that with him and plonked it up on the wall, And it's funny because when he left, he said, you can take it down, take all my pictures down. But I haven't, because I actually do really, 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 this is personal here, I really like frangipanis, those flowers. I love frangipani trees. We used to have one at Hurstville, in the old house that we lived in with the family, with my mother and father and brothers and sisters, and, and no doubt the Matrix also, but I was unaware. But boy, the Matrix was quiet in those days. They left me alone. In those days. They left me alone in those days. I shouldn't be doing this because I could be up for copyright here. I'm not sure. See, I was confident in doing the cat's moved. I could be up for copyright. Oh, God. Oh, dear. I knew I shouldn't have been filming these videos. But see, I knew not to, because I was up for copyright about a year ago when I downloaded a whole video onto my channel because I wanted to talk about the video, because it was, what was it called? Oh, yeah, it was called Losing My Religion. I was going to do a little chat on it, where I pretend I know everything when I'm just completely bamboozled and completely taken over. They're completely using everything. My whole mind is being downloaded onto the damn computer, and I can't do anything about it. I don't like it. I don't understand it. I don't see it as a positive for me. It's like reflecting back to me my own thinking, and it's disturbing because it's not me, because I'm not living it. It's the demigods and the computer putting it there. So my concerns about that would be that it's not real, that it's not the original human. But it looks as though it's more original, more human, and more real, doesn't it, Putty? But is there a reason for it? I don't seem to understand it. I'm only seeing it now over the last few months. It's been there all along. It's just that, like if you watch something on the TV and you say, oh yeah, that's how I think and feel, you just say, oh, well, those demigods and everyone else just relates to you because we're human. But you see, they're not. So that's the game and the deception, and that's the problem. I don't know who's who. Could I even be falling into okay, so oh dear. I'm not going to play that music loud because I think I might be up for copyright. Maybe the visuals are okay to do a bit of visuals. But I'm not sure even with that, because I only showed I didn't show any sound, did I, on the last ones? But see, my son told me that I was allowed to, he told me about 2 weeks ago that I don't even know why he said it, but he said you can actually use videos if you are talking and show bits of them, and that doesn't breach copyright, so you won't be in trouble. But I don't know. See, he's got the sunglasses on. Do you wear sunglasses? Do you wear sunglasses over in London? Do you wear sunglasses? Yeah, you do, don't you? You don't want me to look into your eyes, do you? No. That's why you didn't want to put the magnifying glass up to your eye for too long. And you didn't want to look and see what's in mine. Why not? Why not? What have you got to hide? She's got my earrings. See my loop earrings? Yeah, and why are you watching her? And why did she go from red to blonde? Like, she started out with this bright orange red hair at the beginning of the career with that Sweet Dreams number. I'm sure most people are familiar with that song. I was actually alive then. No, I was always dead. But I watched the videos, but I was dead. I've always been dead. But my mind is alive. Inside. But it's never been part of this world. I've never lived in this reality. And they don't want me to either, because they just want me to live in my mind so they can take my mind. Are you trying to take my mind too, Putty? And those that hide behind the glasses, are you trying to take my mind? Are you watching? You know, I don't have any power in this world. We're not supposed to be naughty, are we? But you can't control your emotions totally. You're supposed to be able to, you need to in this reality, you need to in this matrix. But because the matrix is pushing us, throwing rocks at me, throwing rocks at you, we can't control our emotions, so they go from love to hate and backwards and forwards at extreme levels. And that's very dangerous for us and for the matrix, but that's why we need to carry each other. Putty moved, like the other song goes. We're one, but we're not the same. We're one, but we're not the same. But we carry each other, but we don't know we are, and we don't know how to do it. We're one. We're one, but we're not the same. We're one, but we're not the same. And we hurt each other, and we do it again, and again, and again, and again. And you know the old saying, what is that old saying? We usually hurt the ones we most shouldn't and don't want to really, at a real level. But the matrix convinces us of lots of things. When I say the matrix, that means the world around you. That means everything that's around you. The negative, possessed dark spirits that are around, that make up everyone, including those that you think are close. But hey, no one is fooling me. I'm not fooled by anyone now. And if I am fooled, it would only be by one. Because all the rest, even low, I interact with them and will give them as much pleasant, even appear to give them affection and help them. And when I say help, I mean like anything they want, I will talking about here, but you know what you do with your relatives. You try to help them, you try to go along with them, you try to appease them, please them, keep them from going off the deep end, shall we say, because that's the case, that if you don't please the negative beings, they will go off the deep end mentally, and they will seek to balance the tables, shall we say. They will seek revenge, you could say. In fact, they will seek revenge. They will seek revenge over the smallest thing. They will react, and that's why they push us to react in the extremes too. But don't forget that that it's a question of knowing what is real and what isn't. And it is very hard to know that. Very hard to know that. Very hard to know that. I don't even know what I'm filming here. I don't know what I'm filming here. These videos are just coming up one after the other, and I better... That is a movie, I think. Yeah, I saw that movie about a year ago. I hadn't seen it, the 1984 movie. There I was on a personal thing, and I'm trying to combine with what's going on around me. See, that's the Matrix, but it's also real. And I'm sorry, that's a kitty litter over there. I must apologise to anyone apart from one that's watching, if one is watching, because that's a kitty litter, you see, because I now have an indoor cat. This cat was a street outdoor cat all its life. It's about, I don't even know how old it is, neither does its owner, but I'm guessing that it would have to be at least 16 now. At least, could be more. But of course it's not the original cat. This is the possessed demigod version, you could say. When I say demigod, I mean it's the same as the demigods in every being that is around me, more or less. There are a few like myself sprinkled amongst it. How many in Leichhardt? I would say there's probably, I would say there's only, to my knowledge, there's only one, and even that I'm not entirely sure of. I'm sure of the original there again, but they can replace, you see. They can duplicate, because I know they've duplicated the cat, see, because this is not my original friend that used to come up, my original big boy. He was taken from me, and that interaction between my relative and the neighbour owner, the original neighbour owner of that cat, the way they play it now, because they don't realise that I remember that day when the cat was taken. I can play it back in my head like a video, whereas they glorify it. She's got my rose. See how she's got my rose? See how I had the roses the other day? They like to hold the roses because they know that I don't know. I don't even know why I have an affinity with holding a rose or getting a rose. I have no idea. See, they got the rose. Oh, jeez. No, they're downloading at a fast rate. See how he's got the rose on his shoulder. I don't go on that at all, of course, but I don't even know what I'm doing. I could be up for vast copyright here because I'm flashing too much to the TV, because I'm trying to show the loop earrings. I have this attraction, shall we say, to big earrings. I don't even know why, because I've never wore earrings in my entire life, ever. But see, they download what you find pleasing in your head, and then they incorporate it into the reality. It's like those around would, if they read your thoughts and they see that you like something, they will then take that in and say, should we adopt that? Most of the time they do, strangely enough, because they don't seem to have much, they're so lazy they don't seem to bother with too much taste of their own, so they usually do just incorporate your taste into themselves, and then you look like the most pathetic or boring, plain, non-existent human being, and they look like the demigods. Oh, wait, I'm treading, oh dear. just treading the cat's bowl. I've spilled all the water all over me now. Jeez, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's his empty tray there. Oh dear. Oh, Putty, he's moving, aren't you? Putty, can you show them? See, I, in my mind, incorporate the male and female into things. I don't mean to. I truly don't mean to. I mean, I tend to like the extremes of masculine and feminine. And so, in myself, because I've been played so much by the Matrix and got so confused over my life, I've been confused since I was quite young. So I incorporate both in a lot of the time, you know. So I'll splosh the makeup on those. I'll splosh the makeup on and not on me, on the demigods, and put and sometimes if they can get away with it, they'll put the wrong clothes on. The wrong clothes on. I don't know what I'm doing here. Just trying to show it. Trying to show something through the video because it is downloading. Oh, but I can't be fast enough, and also I don't want to breach copyright. Oh dear. It's like looking at your own thoughts being relayed back, but unless you're conscious of it, I wasn't conscious of it till a few months ago. In fact, I'm not even conscious of it till this very moment when I look at that video for the first time, because I haven't actually watched this one much before. See, I haven't actually watched that one much before because I'm just letting them roll. See, she's just incorporated the nail polish and the rose straight before my very eyes. See? Can you see that? Just instantly. This was happening now, and yet that video is supposed to be about 30 years old. You see? Oh, perhaps some of you do see. Perhaps it's me that doesn't see, but I'm seeing it now, but I don't like it and I don't comprehend it, and I am jeez, bastards. Oh God. And then of course they put stuff on there to torment you on the thing because I just saw an ad there, you know, like making me feel bad, you know what I mean, because it making you feel inferior. You know what I mean? I don't even know what they're doing. Now they've got the seance table going here because they know that I'm a bit obsessed with seance and seance movies and seance sort of stuff. But that's a music video. But see, that's just downloaded right now, right this very minute, and yet that video is 30, 40 years old. I don't know what year it is, but it's... I'm getting mesmerised by my own video. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. By my own... You're getting mesmerised by your thinking being put into a visual form on the TV, on the video. There's the rose again. Oh shit! Sorry. See, I don't even know what I'm doing here. The rose was there again. See, so I only have to think of the rose and throw it into the video, and I don't know what's going on. Someone needs to help me. I need some help here. I really do. Please, please, please. I better stop. I'm going to stop looking at that video because it's actually not. I better turn it off. I think I better turn it off. I must turn it off because I really don't understand this, and I don't know why. I don't know if... See, if I thought that this was just all playing and it's going to all somehow be okay and that this isn't affecting my own kind, shall we say, if they're not using me against myself and my own kind. But you see, I have serious fears about that. I actually have always assumed that the technology and the downloading and stuff... but I didn't know they were downloading until more recent times. Even I thought that it was more a direct... I can't do this. I thought it was more of a direct It's raining outside. Here comes the rain again. I think that's one of those songs. Here comes the rain again. Coming down like a tragedy. Yeah, see, it's all a tragedy for us in a way, I think, personally. But if someone could please just tell me that it is okay and that all this downloading and all this taking your thought and using it will not benefit the technical beings and eliminate what I consider to be the more original, natural, true ones. Now, I don't know. I need to stop looking at those God ones, even though it's like being controlled by your own emotions. But I'll come over here and show the horse that was out my front, but when they ripped up all the plants, they threw him in the garbage tin, even though I picked him out of the neighbour's garbage tin originally and plonked him in my front little bit of, garden there. If you call it a garden, it's not a garden because I don't do anything to it. I just let it take its natural course. I let the weeds grow up, and most of the time the weeds end up becoming very pretty, and they grow wild. And as you know, they had covered the whole lot there, and then the possessed neighbours came and pulled them up. When I say neighbours, I mean those that are around. I didn't see them, of course, but they're all around. It doesn't matter whether it's very close to you, which of course you know it is, or whether it's down another street. It's the whole suburb. It's more than the whole suburb because it's the adjoining suburbs too, because they even show you that. As the cat is moving, they show you that it's not just your suburb, it's the adjoining cupboards. Isn't it right, Putty? See how he's moving? That means he's acknowledging that what I'm saying is right, because we have what we call the inner west. That's where there are no separation between the suburbs. The council and the powers that be control. They actually show that. That's what all these people, all these work people are around and all. See how he's moving? And they're all part of the bus depot and they're all part of the council, but they're all the adjoining suburbs. That's like about 4 or 5 suburbs, not just Leichhardt. And they've done that so that way they have more reinforcements, more to converge around. Whereas like before the matrix came down on me, Leichhardt was a separate suburb, Oh, wait on, here we go. See, they got my bird there, but I'm not going to go into that. Now, I'm just going to, sorry about that. But this song has come up for me, so I'm just going to show it because I am feeling a little bit lost and very lonely. So I am going to be a little bit bitchy. I don't like using that word. A little bit on the... a little bit on the, what side? Oh, I don't know. A little bit on the, bitchy is not the right word, but it means that, that perhaps you're not being given the whole picture from one that you want a little bit more of the full picture or a bit more information or just a little bit more of what they really think and what their situation really is, because I suppose I don't think it's fair, but then again, because I'm quite reasonably out in the open, obviously there might be 1 or 2 things that I might not divulge at this point, but it's not necessary. It doesn't affect any relationship. You don't have to, and I can't remember everything. I don't know everything that goes on. Oh, that video, I'm not going to get copyright there, but it's like, would I lie to you? Would you lie to me? I wouldn't lie to you. I'm not a very good liar anyway, and I actually just can't be bothered with lying. I don't even lie to the technical artificial beings, which I should, because they lie 100%. See how he moved, as if to say, yeah, you should lie to them because you're too open to most people. Because I don't think there's any harm in it, because I didn't know that they were watching and had an interest in me. It's like even if you divulge something a little bit personal to a stranger or an acquaintance and you never see them again, or you only speak to them like the neighbours once every 12 months, or sometimes even every 2 years, you really have an intimate, long conversation with any of them, and you don't desire to either. You only do it out of pleasantness, because as my father brought me up, and he used to always say, well, he didn't really bring me up, but he did used to always say, Cat's moving there, and this was ingrained into me because he said it repetitively, politeness costs nothing. But actually, politeness costs nothing. In other words, it doesn't do you any harm. It can only do you good if you are polite to everyone, nice to everyone. But actually, that is not true. That's what the Matrix ones want. That's what these dark, unpossessed, negative, technical beings want. They want you to be polite and give to them, even in small doses, any way they can get it. Because then, if you do that, they know that you're a real original human. They see that you're different to them. And so then they set about watching you and converging around you. Whereas if you don't expose that, if you keep a distance, they can be left in doubt for a while, That's before the technology, of course, has now been infiltrated totally into your mind and they can read your thoughts. But supposing they couldn't read your thoughts, like, say, 20 years ago, supposing they didn't have the technology reading your mind, and I'm not saying that whether they did or not, but I'm guessing that maybe those that are around were not downloaded with that not downloaded with that oh, that looked a bit artificial actually, but see, that's representations of us by the demigod technical beings, the master entertainer controllers and influencers of our world or reality. This is just the one group on a playlist, which I haven't done this before, but I just clicked onto playlist, and so they're just coming up, and I haven't watched them before. I haven't watched this playlist before, so it's going to be very poor. I should have watched it a few times and then made a video. That way, see, I've got the camera all over the place. But see how there is, I know I'm going to be up for copyright with this, but see this, they're showing me what I am doing and what is being done around me. See? See how she's getting made? She's a technical being. She's getting made. She's getting made by the fellow with the beard. But that's, of course, they're the group, but they're, I don't know. I just don't know. Hold on. I'll just try to get this. But it's telling me, you see. I don't think I should be filming this. I should be talking to someone. Why is there no Skype? Why? Why is it is not fair that it's not fair. It's not fair. See, so it says in that video, don't mess with a missionary man. Don't mess with a missionary man. Are you a missionary man? He's playing with the snake. He's playing with the snake. He's playing with the technology. He's playing with everything. And he's playing with me. Putty moved. Is he playing with me, Putty? Playing with the snake, playing with the technology and playing me? Is this true? Because you are also playing with the technology, playing with the snake, and playing with me too, because you're a possessed cat. You're not my original big boy cat. And God only knows if he was either. And as you can... Oh, look, see the pendulum swing. He's swinging the pendulum. He's mesmerising me. That man is mesmerising me with the pendulum. He's hypnotising me. See, this video is showing me. Because it's my thoughts being... It's my realisation, but it's my thoughts, but it's also the reality. And it might also even be coming from others. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm sort of getting it, but not getting it. What's he smashing that for? He's angry. He's angry. Is he angry? Why is he angry? Why is he angry? Oh, dear Jesus. Oh, it's okay to be angry, just as long as you communicate it. You know, the worst thing is being totally ignored. I saw this. It was downloaded onto the love psychology section of the computer over the last 6 months, when they've been downloading human emotion and human thought at a vast rate. And what was that? If a woman ignores you, we know, like when she doesn't, chooses not to, say, contact you, that means that this is on the love psychology analysis of human psychology, which they're downloading right now from me and anyone else that that is the same as my kind. I'm assuming this, and I don't know. I'm walking into it. Let me see. Where was I? Oh dear. Yeah, they download that if you ignore someone, that means that this is only woman, not male, because men and women do react. Well, they react similar in many ways, but they also do have some differences, I would imagine. But you see, I don't know how a man thinks. I only know how I think. And I mean, I am not the world's most... see, they're mesmerising me with those videos, even though I'm trying to talk to one, because, see, the videos are also my mind being projected. So, see how she's done the blonde, because she's not really like that, as we know. But see, that's like an expression, because, if you think someone doesn't like you the way you are, you'll put something else that might appeal to them, you see, because it's okay to do that, I think. I mean, I think it's okay, because it's like putting on a different dress for someone, like it doesn't mean it's not you. It is you, because in that moment you want to connect and appeal to someone else. So there's nothing wrong with that, I've never done any of these things, but they do it on the computer instead, you see. I'm trying not to breach copyright here, because I have a feeling that I could have been given what they call a bum steer by the relative, because they will lure you to do things to where, the few things that you do are even going to be in trouble or worse, because there could be some truth that you you're not breaching copyright if you don't download a full video and this sort of thing. But there still might be things that they don't tell you that you might still have to do to cover yourself. See, I am just standing here in my living room with the TV playing a few videos in the background, and I'm flashing the camera around, or the mobile around, as my eyes see it, and just pinpointing some aspects of some of these videos, even though I don't even know most of the ones that are coming up. I'm familiar with some of them, but what I'm saying is I don't know what's coming up, because this playlist I haven't played before, and I just put it on before I turned the video on. But I'm familiar with the group from years ago, and attracted to the ideas and the imagery. Mostly I'm attracted to the imagery, because I'm a fairly visual person, and that's why the in certain ways, in certain ways I'm very visual. In fact, I may even be more visual than what I realise because, I have extended that in more recent years. Like I never used to be much interested in looking at scenery most of my life. And then I became completely captivated by it when I started seeing the water and stuff and realised what I'd been missing. Of course, I always knew I was missing the water and all certain scenery. I actually knew it, but I was trapped by my mind. Was that me trapping myself by my mind? Was there a purpose to it, or was it the Matrix just totally taking me over, totally trapping me with their fears, or with the fears that they give you, and you have a choice between rejecting the fear or incorporating it into your mind and therefore into your reality. Because if you have fear, you will act a certain way, and therefore the world around you will be like that. Like if you're fearful, like if you are attracted to water but you're frightened to go in the water. And I'm not the only person who's been like this. My mother was like this, and I knew someone many years ago that they're no longer alive because the Matrix took them away. Early, shall we say, because I think if you most of the people that I knew, and they were only acquaintances anyway, like I didn't know them intimately, they weren't even friends really, they were really acquaintances, and I do talk about some of them sometimes, but they're really only acquaintances, because if you only see someone occasionally and you don't express yourself to that person, don't tell them anything personal, it's just like a very casual conversation even, that is an acquaintance, So most of the people that I've known, even though they might have, they may or may not have liked me, but the thing is that, you assume if someone talks to you that they don't mind your company for a small period. But they're only acquaintances. I would have only considered them acquaintances. But that person, like that person even was dead at about 50, 55. So that's not very... Most of the acquaintances that I knew years ago, they're nearly all dead now, and they all died, like at, say, between 50 and 60. Which is, not a ripe old age. Even I'm 65. But I would have thought that I would have lived... At least I wasn't told this, but it was a vibe that came to me, because I never really thought about how old I would live to, but I always assumed, I suppose, I'd live to a reasonable old age. There was no reason for me. I wasn't unhealthy, unlike now, and I wasn't feeling bad, unlike now. But I would have... never mind, doesn't matter about that anyway. But I would think that there would be... But also, do you want to live to 96, for instance, in a matrix, if they bring you down to your really lowest point? Like, it's one thing to struggle on. Like, I can't imagine what I would even be like in another 5 years at this rate of deterioration, at this rate of suppression. Whereas, like I say, just before the Matrix came down, I didn't have a care in the world about that. In fact, I was just glad to be free, because I thought if I can just keep away from the psychopathic types that are all around me and that are close to me, and just keep it at an acquaintance level with most people, and particularly if I, if I mainly just talk to people who are real, original human beings, and not psychopathic, in other words. Because don't forget, I didn't know all that then. All I thought was that a lot of human beings have gone psycho, have turned into narcissistic psychopaths due to their environment. So I just put it down that the human race, because of the society we live in now, where there's less, as some people have said to me, family breakdown, less family, less connection, and the same as myself, because I feel guilty about my own lackings that way. So naturally, you realise that that creates, there was something, I'm going to have to sit down. I'm too mentally exhausted and I'm standing up here. I have to sit down. I'm so sorry about the floor. I need to mop the floor, but I can't do it. So the floor, unlike my grandmother, who, unlike my grandmother, I'll move that, unlike my grandmother, who mopped the floor every day, because actually it would make me feel better if that floor was clean. And no one will do it for me, not unless I get the possessed neighbour or something, and then that is, you know, like I did have that once. But so you don't want to do that because you bring, but it matters not, because I have possessed people coming in anyway, because even if they're close to you, if they're against you, they're not working with you, they're working against you. I don't even expect people to work with me, but when they're working against you, this is the problem. See, it's one thing to say, oh, you're lonely, you're isolated, you've got no support. So you just have to do it on your own. But the matrix brings you down physically and mentally, and then you've got all these beings around you working in a collaborative effort directly against you daily. This is the problem. This is deceptive too, because look, I've got like it's nighttime, as you can see. I've got the light on there, and the place is an absolute mess. There's Putty, see, but don't forget Putty. See, he's got all the dogs' beds. See, he's got everything. When the dog passed over, he's took over all the dogs' regalia, and he's now inside with kitty litter. So all this sort of stuff, you know. And that's all kitty litter bags over there and stuff and whatever, I don't know. And then I've got that bag over there full of tin cans, which has been there for 7-8 months now. I filled it up with all the cans so that my son could take them to there's a place where a lot of people do it now. They collect the cans and you get 10 cents a can, and if you get a whole bag, you can probably get $20 or something. You just have to take them there and put them in the thing, and then they give you the money. So I just did that one time, because obviously most people recycle and put them in the bins out the front. Of course, I don't have those bins because they don't give me any. So I put them in other people's bins. So I look like, you know, so everyone else looks like the greenie people with the recycling and all that, and I look like this person that couldn't care less, when they know that actually I'm the only one that does really care about a natural reality, whereas they're all technical beings that pretend to care about green and nature and recycling and doing all this society-driven matrix rubbish. And it is rubbish, because although it's rubbish that you put out the plastic bottles and the paper and the cardboard, and then you own a domestic type of rubbish, or, you know, it is really all rubbish. It is matrix rubbish, conditioning, controlling, in order to make it look as though the possessed beings, the possessed technical beings, are real, original human beings, when they're not. And then someone like me, I don't do any of that. Oh, I do. Of course, I'm not saying I don't, you know, sometimes I do put the bins in the other people's bins. I'll put the cans and the cardboard in the other people's bins. That's why there's those tissue boxes. There are a couple, and I'll chuck them in the recycling paper bin. But that is only because, you know, I know that that it doesn't stop or save a tree. So it's a joke. I know that. You know, and they probably don't even recycle half it anyway. That is actually, you know, some people will even tell you that. But, you know, it's all showmanship. It's all matrix showmanship to delude, confuse and deceive human beings at this end time. So that's what it really is. Now, but it's very quiet and dark here. This is why I'm making the video, because it is like late night, okay? So they can't make any noise at this late time, and I'm inside my house. They know I want to go outside, but if I go outside, there will be a car come onto the street with the lights. If I walk down to the park or go down to get the coffee, there will be the cars parked with their lights flashed left on, pulling out just as you go past or in front of you. There will be more people on the street than what should be, considering there's very little open and it's so late of a night, all this sort of thing. But you will see people walking around. It won't be like a crowd, no. So if I film it and say, oh, a person went past me, they say, well, you're on the street, so what's so unusual about one or two people going past? It's only that you know what they are, and you know that there's more of them now than what there used to be in the same suburb. Because if you've lived, I said before, in the same suburb for 30 years, you notice that, you know, a quiet back street used to not have people. But that's only because they were playing it secretly back then too. But also I think something may have actually happened too. That's another thing too. So there could have been a change or a shift in everything. And now the main purpose is controlling and taking us down. I personally think that. You know, so I don't, whereas I think before it was played, you know, because something perhaps has changed, something more, and I don't even know what I'm saying here. I'm just making it up as I go along, honestly. I have to say that. That video has stopped there, so maybe I shall, I don't know why it's paused. What do you say, Woody? Has the world paused too, not just the video? Is that what it's trying to tell me? See, I'm trying to get synchronicity. Most of the time I can't concentrate, but other times it just comes to me. And if I really concentrate on synchronicity, then it comes to me. In other words, if I focus and say, look around me, what does that sign mean? What does that mean? It's raining outside too. I can hear it. That means that has the world paused? See, I'm out of my mind. I just made that up and I don't even know where it comes from. Has the world paused, Putty? Has the world paused? Has it slowed down? Has it stopped? Is that really just like time, sort of thing? I don't even know what I'm saying here. I don't know what I'm saying. I kind of do, but because I'm so limited and pathetical and suppressed and confused by everything. And I think the personal interaction at the present time with one close but also one far away, but I'm really close to one that's far away and not close to one that's near. But you're getting close interaction with those that are near, but you're getting no interaction with the one that's far. I don't know if that made any sense. Trying to express something here without being too obvious. I like to be subtle, but on the other hand, some people, if you know, my father used to always say, read between the lines. You must read between the lines of everything. In other words, he was actually telling me and my brothers and sisters that we need to read between the lines because most of what they were telling us was not real and not really, and that they themselves were part of the matrix, control or influence, you know, because your parents influence. I mentioned how I should clean the floor. My mother's mother, my nanny, used to clean the floor every day. And my pa, he didn't probably want to live, I'm guessing this because I was only, 6 years old, and I was before 5, so I don't know. So before 5 I can't remember a thing. But before 5, see, I'm just going to make it up. going to make it up. Maybe what I make up has some validity. But see, what was I saying? I just said C and I don't know why. C is C-E-A. C-N. See, they're dancing. See, they're dancing, those two together. I can't dance. But it would be nice to dance. Have to dance with the right person, of course. Either that or you dance on your own. But you see, all this is a reflection of where you're merging stuff on the thing. But where was I? Oh, my grandfather. Pa. See, Pa. It's very hard for me now to think back to how I used to think about Pa and Nana and Mummy and Daddy and that sort of thing. Like, I always used to say Mummy and Daddy. But then it became Pa and Nana when my son arrived because they took over so much. And and even to me, then they became, instead of Mummy and Daddy, because everyone else is calling them, and because the baby and the child has to call them Nana and Pa. So you get it's changing your normal way of talking and thinking about your own parents, even, and not so much thinking, but I don't know. There's water. I'm slipping over in the water here after I trod in that damn cat's thing. We're screwed, let's face it. You only have to look at me to realise that we are screwed. Because, and I wouldn't have believed I would say this in a video, please, I hope that most people have tuned off by now because I'm just here on my own like I normally am, going bonkers. And I've got the tissue stuck on my shoes and I don't know what I'm doing, but see, I've got to wipe up that wet because otherwise I'll slip over and then I'll be in the hospital and then the Matrix, and everyone will be very happy because that's what they would like. They would like you to be even more incapacitated to where they can feed off you and have control over you. I've got tissues all stuck on my feet. Oh, I can't get them off. I don't know why everything sticks in this place. It's almost like as though everything's got glue. I've noticed that over the last year or two. At first I thought it was just normal, but it was happening all the time. Everything seems to have like some sort of fungus or glue on it almost. You can't see it. But see how everything's sticking to my foot? I can't get that way I've got a mess everywhere, so I'm uncomfortable. See how the cat was moving? When I said as if to say, yeah, we're doing that. And then I've accidentally, or was it them leading me? See, it was an accident, but they kind of led me into treading in that bowl because they knew that I would be confounded and mesmerised. I'm out of breath here too, and yet I'm not even doing anything. By the visual images of the demigods on the computer there, or on the TV screen, should I say. It's the same thing. Computer screen, it's the same thing. The TV is just a big one, see? A big one, like a big one. Oh, I don't even know why I didn't want to get him in because he's not relevant to me. At least I don't think he is. See, there again, sometimes even when I look at the videos, I see relevance, but I don't see relevance because I shouldn't be filming this amount, I don't think, because it's bound to be breaching copyright. But I don't know the other fella what he means, or that woman, or the other figures, but they all mean something. Whether they are relevant to someone else or relevant to me. I know the two main figures are relevant to me. They are, they're me and someone else, you see. Oh, wow. And they mock because look how active they are, see, and I'm so inactive. But see, that's my thinking, you see, but I can't physically do it now. Probably never could, but I don't know what I'm doing here. And also I might be giving the wrong impression too, because see, all this is about, all I'm trying to say is that, where was I? The cat's gone quiet there and said, oh, he's hiding his head because he's like, you have lost the plot. Is that right, big boy? Have I lost the plot? Have I lost the plot? I haven't lost the plot totally, but I am being mesmerised by everything around me and every relationship. And that could also be true if you're the same as me. But if you are not, you might be controlled or you might be part of it. I really don't know. And what is my purpose? Why am I meant to be connected to some people and not others? What is the purpose of it? I don't even know. See, I'm watching the TV while I'm talking as well, so who is that other one? I don't know. Why is that man involved with that one? Why is that man involved with that one? I don't know. So I'm trying to pick up something. Is someone else involved with some man or something? I don't know. But I just, whatever the real reality is, I'm fine. Well, I may not be fine with it, but I've said this before. You must see, some of us have to know what the truth is. I know that video said, would I lie to you? And sometimes I have said to myself, please just lie to me. Play and lie, and that's better than nothing. But really that isn't so, because I wouldn't be one that was like making this video otherwise, would I? I wouldn't be making videos talking about what you think is. What you would think and assume is some sort of truth to this reality. You believe it. I believe it. I believe it at the given time when I'm saying it. If something new comes up, I'll change that. Because I don't have the whole picture. And see, she's got the rose. See how she's got the rose? She just picked it up now. See that red rose thing? See, I wouldn't have picked that up even a year ago. I wouldn't have picked up that red rose thing on that one. I would have just said rose is a common, and it's always been a kind of, I don't know, what has it been? I don't even know what it has been. It just comes to me instantly right now, everything I'm saying. In other words, it's been part of my life, but I've never not been conscious of it. That's the difference, is you're not conscious of it. It's just part of things that you've seen and that you might even feel about, but you don't consciously, you're not conscious. So you're not aware while you're doing something, while you're thinking something, or even while you're feeling something. You're not even aware of your emotions. You're vaguely aware. You're kind of swept along more by the matrix and by what's around you and by people around you. So you're not in control of it yourself. That's the difference. Is that right, Putty? I'm not in control of my own reality, am I? Not consciously, anyway. You may even be in control of your reality, but if you're not conscious of it, you're not really in control of it. They're controlling you and they're controlling your reality. The matrix, the possessed, technical, negative, dark beings, dark technical beings, cold machines that appear to be warm human beings, even hot human beings. If you look at the demigods, they're hot human beings. You know that term, oh, she's hot. Well, they're hot, but they're really cold. But because, oh, that was a funny sound coming from outside, not actually coming off the TV. But because they download the human thinking and the human warmer feelings, because only humans have true emotions. true positive emotions, true of that vibration. The dark possessed technical beings don't really possess that. That is not what makes them tick at all. That's not what makes them tick at all. It's not what makes them tick at all, I don't think. They don't tick that way. But, I don't even know what I'm filming here. I just glancing over and then swinging the mobile around as though it has some... She's got the gloves on, come to think of it, and I don't know, see. Perhaps that's the best that I could manage. But I mean, it's the best that I can manage. It's the best that I can manage. But see, there's the gloves. And she's got the blonde. Used to be bright red, bright orange, now blonde. I just noticed that recently. Well, of course I always noticed it, but I just didn't pick up a connection that that she largely went blonde for most of their span, their career. She did go dark in the last video called No More I Love You, which was the last video when she was a bit older, and when she'd separated from the Eurythmics, it was a duo. The Eurythmics is a music duo. You may already know that, or you may not. So I'm just saying, anyone who's not familiar with that particular group, I just thought I'd point it out. You may or may not know them. Most people probably would know them, because a lot of young people even know a lot of these groups now. They've actually, because I focus and we realise that some of the better, more interesting music, that a lot of the older music is just as interesting and is not dated. Whereas, like, if you go back to the 40s and the 50s, although some of the singers were very good, some of the music, it's not dated, but the imagery is dating, whereas this is when they were transitioning people into the duality reverse world and accepting it, you see. And it was mainly done through music, I would personally say, not as much through movies. Movies were slower to catch up to that, but they have caught up now, I think, even though I don't watch a lot of the new stuff, but they have. When I say caught up, it depends on how you look at it, because it is a deliberate transition into the duality reverse world. So it's not like you think that you're doing it. No, you're not doing it at all. I'm not doing it. I do it in my mind, but I don't believe that it is the right way for human beings, because it is a ploy for extinction, which has already happened anyway, I would imagine. The cat moved. For original human extinction. See how the cat is moving, showing you? Because that's almost like glee for them. It's like satisfaction. It's like to say, yes, it's already happened. You're already extinct. I'm already extinct. My kind is already extinct. As is most of, even though they play it and pretend that it isn't, even that is probably largely extinct, because it's not the original thing. That is closer to the reality, because I saw an ad on the TV only an hour or two ago before I pressed this video on about, we must save the koala bear from being extinct, because in 30 years, they say, there will be none left in most of the regions of Australia. And they pinpointed a particular part, and of course they expect donations. So they actually they get human beings in. The few that are left, the real ones, will probably give a donation towards a false charity, with the premise that they can stop what has already happened from happening. And that is all matrix stuff, I would think. I could be wrong, and in the sense that maybe, there could be some way of slowing it down or something by doing something. See, I'm not 100% sure of that, but I personally think that it's all just matrix sidetracking and a ploy to, so that human beings are focused on false causes, thinking that they're doing good because, like myself, he's took the glasses off. Does that mean that one day he'll take those sunglasses off and look me in the eye? And because he probably wants to. Because, it must be a strain for people to lie all the time. So, see, the Matrix possessed ones, they don't have a problem lying and deceiving all the time because they don't have a problem with that because they are possessed, because they are actually a technical being inside a warm-blooded human body. You see. So it is not lying to them when they deceive you and will try to play with your mind, or what they term gaslighting your mind. In other words, that's where they try to, like if you were looking at something, and this happens to me every day, where you might be looking at, say, a tree. Supposing it's like a Christmas tree, because we're heading up towards Christmas, and it's got the lights on. And you say, oh, the lights are on the tree. They might say, oh no, the lights were turned off. And so they will be playing with your mind, and then you will come back and say, oh no, they've been on. And they'll say, no, they haven't. And then you will be, for a few seconds, you will doubt that. You'll have to think and have to say, oh, are they on? Are they off? Were they on? Were they off? That sort of thing. It's very hard to explain, but it's basically what they term gaslighting. In other words, if they do that all the time, like in that movie Gaslight, the old movie called Gaslight, where the husband tries to, theoretically, and nearly succeeds in driving his loving wife around into insanity. She was never insane, but to where she doubts her own perception, her own reality, because he plays with things. He plays with objects around the house. He plays with her emotions and toys with her affection for him, knowing that she won't realise that she's being gaslighted, because she assumes that he also has the same affection when he doesn't. He's actually out to get rid of her because he wants her money. Because she's wealthy, and if, he doesn't really want to be married to her, he just is married to her for the money, but he simulates love. And because she originally loved him and doesn't realise that he never did love her, which is essentially true of your relationships with the narcissistic, psychopathic type of person even, much less if they are technologically possessed. It wouldn't matter if you're just dealing with what you think is a human being who has turned into a narcissistic psychopath. Or someone who basically doesn't like you and has no feelings for you or for anyone else for that matter. But if they target you and pinpoint you to take you down and to limit you because they see you as taking something from them, you're in their way. You may have things that they want. You may have physical or mental or abilities that they want to use to seduce others, or even just to make their own life more comfortable if you happen to provide finance or, support in any way. But also if they can play you, if they come down on you hard and openly show themselves to you as I've experienced, then they will just openly extract anger and negative energy out of you and play you, because they will play. You will say, well, why would you play with people like that? Well, there could be reasons why you do. The main one usually is guilt, because everything that is rational in your mind tells you you shouldn't play with these people, because if they're a relative, for instance, you play with them, you know, they will extort every bit of negative emotion and play with your mind to such an extent that you'll be lucky if you know which day is which. And then the matrix ones that are in collaboration with these, whether it's conscious or not. Because don't forget, negative technical beings play one another too. They can collide on occasion, as you've seen in some past videos even, you know. Because some of them are singular in their destructive pursuit of self-preservation and survival, because that's essentially all they are. They're about providing for themselves, providing their own pleasure. Usually that's more of an addictive thing. Usually they have things that stimulate them. Human beings, positive emotions and love does not stimulate them at all. It actually makes them angry. But negative emotions from a positive human being does provide energy and entertainment and a source of importance, even power. It gives them power over you. It makes them like, oh, I've turned something good into something negative. I've turned positive into negative, and that makes them feel powerful, because they know that human beings really have more input into the reality. So they're kind of they see that as a threat, so they have to control it and take it down. That's their main aim while they're here. Sometimes it's just individual technical or psychopathic types that will do this. They're not conscious that they're being used or combining with all those around them that are also either technical beings or narcissistic, psychopathic, twisted human beings in nature. It could even all just be one in the same, because I don't understand the timeline, to be honest. I don't understand the time element. I would assume that would be a progression, you know, because the whole aim of my video from the beginnings was to separate from technology, because technology will take over the human being, take over your reality and take over the human mind, which it does in order for it to keep going. And this has been speculated and put forward by a lot of people. And then when I see that and then see it in my reality, I'm like, oh, that's so. So that's something to try to be aware of and try to not incorporate it. But of course, I can't help it, because it's already happened. Because if I said, oh, look, I'm in control of this mobile I'm holding, I'm in control of the TV, because I can turn it on or off. You know, I can turn it on or off. But I can't turn their technological control into my mind off. I can't turn them infiltrating my mind, because the technology is all around. I haven't chosen that. I haven't invited it. But indirectly, without my knowledge, this has happened, and I have, because, you know, the internet and computers has been allowed, and we've used it, and we've thought, oh, it starts out, see, everything starts out small, where you just use it. Like when the computer was around for years before I went on one, most people were using one, but they didn't all have them in their own home. But eventually I used to start going into the library just down the road, you know, once a week, and going on the computer, because I liked dolls and wanted to buy some old dolls, and I knew the eBay had every doll in the world and every one that I could never get any other way except buy on the eBay. I got attracted through that hobby to go onto the eBay, which was on the computer, and so I'd go down there once a week or whatever and buy a doll. And then I had to get the card, the technical card, the credit card, which I always only used cash before that. in order to go on the eBay. And so I was seduced into eventually doing that. It took them quite a while to convince me. And then, of course, I got addicted to more stuff on the eBay and even on the computer, looking at things that I would like, because there was, everything was on there. It's a bit like turning your TV on. You like a piece of music and you can watch whatever you want. You can listen to it. I've given a lot of that away in more recent years, but I'm going back to it now just to make the points. But it still grabs me because it's my own feelings interpreted by the matrix demigods before your eyes. So, of course, naturally, it even, it seems like the best of things. It seems better than what you could get from a real person. But that's not how it's meant to be. And if real people knew that that was really the thinking of them being interpreted by the demigods and stuff, they would respect and actually then make the proper connection with their own kind, a real person, instead of spending a lot of time watching these demigods perform and seduce and trick us. Even, as fascinating, as enticing it is, because really this is the deception game of the end time situation, or even any situation, even if it isn't the full end. It is like that. I don't think I explained that. I don't even know why I'm doing this. This is just something that I wouldn't have noticed before, because obviously I don't even know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I've got transfixed by the videos now, because I think that I'm boring and that I'm not making connection, that if anyone's listening, they're going to be bored stiff and going to say she's someone that I should avoid, because she's much more of a rat bag than what I could ever have thought. And maybe she's reversing it around. Maybe she's too clever for me. See, that's how we start to think. We start to think that the other person is too clever for us, and that they're, a bit like where you go to another level and you say, well, maybe that's projection, and that's double projection, because obviously she's emotional and feeling that there's no connection, rejection, whatever. But don't forget, you have to think about what is the truth, like who makes the decision. Like if someone rang you 20 times and you ignore the phone, and then they, like that saying that was downloaded onto the computer from the human mind, if a woman ignores someone, that means that she is very deeply hurt. And, that could well be because that person has ignored her. So therefore, she's like, well, there's no point in me putting myself out there. You almost feel as though it's embarrassing, because you're like, it's not like, it depends on how important it is to you. See, that's what I'm saying. So if it's really important to you, you do feel that you're putting yourself out there, and then there's the pushing away. So it's like, oh, I've slipped over the line, I've gone too far, and now I can't go back, and this is just going to head into disaster for you at an emotional level. You do think you're going to be defeated mentally by your own emotions for something that can't respond or can't reciprocate. And that's the bottom line. I actually got that clear. In my words and in my... Because I'm not thinking at all. The words are just coming. So it's just directly coming from... my mind without thinking. Whereas normally if I make a video, you do try to consciously keep your thoughts a little bit above. Come on. But they won't. But you see... Oh, jeez, this is ridiculous. The cat. What do you say, Putty? Are these videos becoming from the sublime to the ridiculous, or are they just, or is it just that I'm trying to say something and I think I got it clear there for a few words. For a few words I got it clear. A few words I got it clear. I don't even know what these videos are. Well, I know what they are, but I haven't seen them all before. I haven't seen them all before. But I didn't even finish that about how perhaps it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm talking about these pop groups anyway. These, whatever they are, they're not quite what we think they are. And I am just sliming around here in all this wet. See, that's great video, isn't it? Look. No wonder they say human beings should be obsolete, because they're like, this is, if this is the best of what is left, and this one can't even keep her floor tidy and is slipping around in water that she's knocked over, and there's dirty tissues all stuck on her foot, which I will get rid of course, when I put the mobile down. And my shoe is falling apart here too. Oh, I just realised my shoe is falling apart. The sole is coming off it. Can you see that? The sole is coming off my shoe. See how the sole is coming off my shoe? Oh, sole is, oh, they've got my red lipstick. She's got my red lipstick. See, they knew that, because you see, I was going to, it's red lipstick, see how they got the red lipstick? See how she was showing the red lipstick, because I was focused on this ad with the tube of the red lipstick. You know, because I don't wear red lipstick. I've never wore red lipstick. But I like looking at it on other women, the red lipstick. And they know that. So sometimes they will. But see, my shoe is falling apart here. Oh, I better not show my feet too much either. But my shoe is falling apart. Oh, the sole. I better be careful with that. Oh, maybe I'll go and put those thongs on. Oh, it's getting, I don't like to wear the thongs unless it's really, really hot. Yesterday was quite hot. It'll soon be heading into real hot weather. There's all my shoes. I found those shoes. And sometimes I find things and then I take them home and wash them if they're in the right size. Because whenever I buy anything, it never turns out any good anyway. Most of the time I end up using more stuff that is just left around than if I actually go and buy something. Sometimes I'll go and buy something really nice and I'll never use it or never wear it or whatever. It's like that. I don't know why that is. You know, I did used to have that attitude sometimes that I would see nice things and buy them, but I'd never wear them or use them because I think they were too good to use, and then what's the point? That's right, you know. But that's kind of a mental kind of stupidity, I think, which I openly admit that I can be quite stupid. Can I be quite stupid, Putty? Sometimes. Does the Matrix think I'm stupid? Yes, or foolish? Foolish? Or just control too much, perhaps? What do you think, Put? Do you have an answer for me? Come on. Give me some feedback. It's poor hopes when all I've got is to talk to a lifeless, technically possessed cat. I don't get any satisfaction out of talking to the cat at all. It may look like that in the videos, but actually I don't. When I first started talking to the dog, like nearly, about 4.5, 5 years ago, when he was here, I actually did think there was a benefit because I thought I was connecting with some technical person or someone that was controlling things around me. And I thought maybe they might tell me the truth, even though I knew it was not perhaps a positive thing to do in a way. But I thought, hey, what have I got to lose, because they know they're reading me and they're watching me, so it doesn't matter. Maybe they might give me some truth in the feedback that when I was asking the dog all sorts of things. And I was aware that they could lie and play because basically the God of this world specialises in deception, and truth is alien to it, really, if you think of it, because truth is really only part of a positive human thing, I would now think. You know, truth doesn't matter to a technical being. You know, they're only, you know, at their level, they're practical, and they use their machine intelligence, you could say. And I don't understand it. I'm just trying to impress by saying these things, you know, and it just sort of comes to me. But I'm only half in comprehension. But they just use that into their kind of intelligence, which is not like emotional intelligence. It's just basically because they don't have that. They don't think that way. They just think in terms of survival. So they use their machine intelligence in order to survive and in order to get what they want out of human beings in this technical matrix earth reality. You know, that's essentially how it works at a basic level. There's a lot more to it than that, but I don't understand all these things. I don't understand how technology works. I know what they do. At a personal level, with my own mind, I see what they take from me, and I see how they interpret things, because they don't mind showing it now, but also they probably were showing it before. But also time is now, like, I don't see any difference between, you know, like if I look at these videos from 30 years ago, because most of what I've got here is all 30 years ago, might even be more. I'm not sure of the exact dates of when most of them were. But even if it wouldn't matter if it was only, 10 years, 20 years. It's as though it's now for me anyway. So I think there's something strange there, because, in other words, even though it looks like 30 years ago, and the dates on them, they'll tell you this was 30 years ago, and you know in your own memory that you saw some of these videos, not all of them, but some of them I'm familiar with, some I'm not, and some I've forgotten. But others I'm very familiar with, to where, I only have to hear the song and the whole thing is like as though I've listened to it 30 times yesterday, And it's like that, but I'm trying to explain it. But it's like it's like as though I'm thinking of it now, though, too, because the emotions and the things that are expressed in those things are exactly what I'm thinking right now, or what I've experienced over the last so-called few months. But you see how it's like as though time is condensed or something. Don't follow that. This video that's coming up is totally new to me. I don't know. I've never seen it before, even though it's by the same group. See, I haven't seen it before, and there's no sound coming out. There's no lyrics, so I don't know what is going to happen on this one. I'd have to, but see, I don't know what I'm trying to. I'm not showing anything here because it's the same group, so it's probably getting a little bit. He's took the sunglasses off in this video, because most of the time they often don the sunglasses, or at least the fellow does. It's interesting, but he's looking at the girl now, and looking at it anyway. It's an interpretation, you see. It's a reflection of where you're combining things that attract you into one technical demigod being. See, that's what you're kind of doing. That's how I see most of the music. They're all different that way, but that's how I see a lot of it. And so it's but I don't know what I'm doing here. This video probably will be breaching copyright far too much, I think. Probably. I would say this video would be... I'll give it a go again on this one, because I don't think I got the lyrics. It's got lyrics. I'm not sure if you're breaching copyright if you show the lyrics, where you know where they have a video but they don't have the original video, they just have the lyrics. And if I keep the sound down, I've turned the sound down on the TV, I've turned it down. Sorry, Put. Oh, try to change my hand is aching. I'll have to swap my hand around on the video. I hope it doesn't go off. If it does, that's probably won't. I hope I'm not pressing anything. Oh, my arm is aching. I was holding it for too long. Oh, jeez. Oh, dear. Oh, you're trying to get me to go to the Chemist Warehouse, you see, on this ad. They have these really long ads with it. And they know that I can't get there, but they know that if they can get me to focus on some of the products, see, they've got the lipsticks in the background there. And they sell all these pills and potions and all sorts of things. I don't even buy them, but they know that I will think that they're a good idea when I see them, you see. Yeah, so that was like some eye drops, because they know my eyes have been so sore and itchy. Let me see. See, I only have to think of these things and then they'll have a product to sell. And they're very pleasant people that come on and tell you, that pretend to be the chemist, see these, and they'll be very personable. That's the word, personable. They'll be very personable, very polite. Like my father said, politeness costs nothing. See how they're advertising the some sort of refresh for your eyes, you see, so that, something like that, I'm not sure, it doesn't matter. I'm probably, they're quite cheap too, it's only $4.99, oh, that's good. Oh dear, see, I can't even get into the shops at the moment. They're laughing at me, these two, they're laughing at me. I think it's all right to show ads, I don't think that breaches copyright. What is this? I don't even know what this thing is. What is it? What are you advertising? What are you advertising? I don't know. It's some sort of, oh gosh. What is it? Oh gosh, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I'm waiting on the video. But these ads on these Chemist Warehouse, because they know they can get me to focus on so many things. A breast pump. That's a breast pump. Oh God, I can't believe they're advertising a breast pump. You're trying to tell me that I need to deflate mine, and certainly they know that I'm preoccupied with my physical deterioration. And this is mainly over the last year and a half. Before that, I didn't overly worry about it. I was aware of it, but I thought as long as I feel okay. But actually, it, when your body does deteriorate, it actually does affect your well-being and even getting around, because, if you're working against gravity, shall we say, it does slow you up mentally and physically even, physically it is actually a thing. But that didn't bother me so much, it's psychological more, I think, now. In other words, visual, because you're preoccupied with it, because you want to, you want to be impressive to someone that you don't even see. It's insanity. Because basically I don't really care what anyone around here thinks of me physically, mentally. I don't try. You see the cat's moving. I don't care. In fact, I wouldn't want to impress them physically, because if you look really bad and they still dislike you and are trying to bring you down, God only knows what they would do if you really were a demigod competing with them at a physical level, That's true, isn't it? Because they're so competitive. So you don't forget, these beings, because they're in survival mode, they're very competitive. If you don't have to be doing anything, you don't want to, you could walk outside with one toenail unpainted. So you could walk outside with one toenail painted, which I haven't. I never painted toenails. I've never even painted my fingernails, ever. Apart from, I think I might have done it once when I was 14 years old, when I was still at that horrible high school. But it would have only been with clear nail polish anyway, I think. Never like with bright. But I haven't painted my fingernails or toenails for a lifetime. So, but if I went out with one toenail painted in Henry Street, that would incur the wrath, envy and anger of all the beings that are in Leichhardt and the adjoining suburbs, because it's like they openly tell you that it's now the inner west collaboration. There's no suburbs, it's inner west. That means all the suburbs. Oh, oh, oh. It's telling me to wait till tomorrow. That's what that video is telling me right this very moment, that I must wait till tomorrow because I am losing my wick, losing my patience, because I'm a very patient person. But, you know, when you kind of are in that turmoil daily, over a period of a year and a half, this applies to you and to me. Well, you want to be, but you ain't. And that goes both ways too. I've never seen this video before, by the way, even though I'm very familiar with this group and know quite a few of their songs almost by heart from years ago. That one, I know the title but have not noticed the lyrics before. So the cat has just said that that's because you're receiving it now and it is being downloaded to you now, even though the song is probably about 30 years old. Let's see what else it's telling me. I just have to watch the cat but also watch the screen. This is so ridiculous, so unprofessional, but hey, it's just for one anyway, so it doesn't matter. The only thing is, even for one, I want to try and get it in. Well, you want to be. Come on, tomorrow. Bring tomorrow quick. Because today is hard. It's too hard. Waiting is too hard. Ah, jeez. Waiting is too hard, isn't it, Putty? I don't know, just accept the fact that I'm not wanted. Jeez. Oh, that's too much for me to deal with, I guess. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh, what is going on here? I nearly slipped over there. They're trying to get me. They really are, I have to admit. Oh, that's because I'm getting myself, because damn well knocked all that water over and I keep treading on that green part. See, I'll end up defeating myself. I have to get myself together here, even at a physical level, because, you know, the Matrix is physical too. You know, make no mistake about that. We live in a physical world. You know, we might be driving it by our mental stuff, but you have to be so careful, because the Matrix and those around will let you defeat yourself, just like I'm doing with that waiting and that song When Tomorrow Comes. But that's because I have no life in the Matrix either, you see, so I can't bide my time pleasantly while I wait. You know? So the waiting then becomes, the old saying, the watch kettle is slow to boil, or
Something like that. In other words, if you watch something to boil, it seems to take a lot longer for it to happen. Whereas if you're not watching it, it will happen relatively quickly. You know that. When you're waiting for the kettle to boil. What's this one here? What is this trying to show me? This one's called "You Have Placed a Chill in My Heart." Oh, the cat is moving. It's like someone has placed a chill in my heart. Most people seem to be, but obviously, if someone is important to you, it is going to place a real chill. And everyone and anyone that is important to me, and this could also apply to you, are placing a chill in your heart. They're making fun of me when I used to go to the supermarket grabbing everything, but I can't even do that now. Not that it matters, because it's been unpleasant going to the supermarket for the last few years anyway, because if you're surrounded by negative matrix ones. But they're starting to make fun of me here. See how they're making fun of me? See how they're making fun of me? See how they're making fun of me? See how they're making too much? I can't get this all. Oh, she's on the phone too. See how she's on the phone? See? Oh, I don't know. I should have watched this video before, but this is also one that I'm not familiar with. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this. This is bound to be breaching copyright. I don't even know. I'm not. See, I should. See, if I know the video, then I can just latch on to bits without showing too much. But if it's a new one, I'm kind of just getting mesmerised, and I'm being taken in by all the things that are luring me or attracting me or seducing me, or just luring me in because I'm familiar with it or because I'm fascinated. Even if it's sometimes you can even be fascinated by something that isn't totally attractive to you, but it's still seducing you because it has some emotional component for you that you're not aware of, or even if you are aware of it, you'll just be lured in to watch it, even though it may not be giving you a pleasant sensation. So there's that too, but I'm not quite sure what I mean by that. Is that true? Look at Putty. What is Putty doing there? Look at Putty. Oh, Putty is really laying it on a bit thick there too now. He used to be a street urchin cat, and now look at him. Putty. But if you were a real cat, I would say that's a pleasure to see you so content there sprawled out like that, because if they expose themselves, their belly to you, it means that they're comfortable. Whereas most of the time, Putty doesn't do that, and hasn't been doing that over the last couple of months. Most of the time he curls up and half hides and protects himself. You know how they cover themselves while they're asleep? But see, when they do that, that means they're very comfortable. They're exposing their vulnerable parts. I saw that on a video. See how he's doing that? As if to say, I feel totally trusting and safe, and so I can expose my vulnerable parts of my body. Oh, okay, and that's what he's doing. Yeah, but I would normally think that was good to see the cat relaxed like that. That's if it was a real cat. I don't even know. Okay, so that song playing, I'm very familiar with it. I can't breach copyright by turning it up. Okay, I'll have to it's so low I can't hear it, but okay. Putty knows what I'm thinking, so he's stretching out while I'm doing it. Oh, okay, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, okay. That line hit me only a week ago. I was not noticed that line on this song. That lyric. had not noticed it until a week ago. Which is interesting that you can listen to a song for years and you sing along with the chorus, what they call the chorus, or the... she's got my loop earrings, see? And he's lurking in the background, watching and controlling probably. That's what I just unconsciously said this very minute, didn't I, Putty? Someone is lurking in the background, controlling me at a personal level. The matrix, of course, I'm fully aware that it and its beings are controlling me. I suppose the only thing I need to fully understand or figure out is where does this one fit into this situation. I need to know that. Maybe they don't know it. That would be interesting. Are we all in the dark playing against ourselves and one another? That's something that I have thought for a while, but whether that is totally true, that would depend on your awareness. But even if you're just a negative human being that has gone totally into the psychopathic mode, shall we say, you will be working against anything that's positive. You will be working against me, which is what is happening at the very least with everything that's around me. Don't know why I'm filming. Don't know what. I'll be careful not to tread in that because I have already got caught there. And it'll be like you'll be, if you slip over, you'll be incapacitated and you won't even be able to download the video. See how the cat is laughing and moving when I said that? You might say I'm out of my mind to think that this cat is responding to my thinking or even to my verbal. But I don't have to verbalise it. That's why I know they read your mind, because I don't have to verbalise it. I can just think it and that cat will do the same movements in response to what I'm thinking. Because in the real world, we assume we have to communicate verbally with the spoken word. But in reality, all that is around you is technically downloading your thinking. So they don't have to just interact with you verbally. But whether they interpret everything correctly or as you intended, or whether it doesn't mess them up, is another thing too. I surmise, when I say surmise, I mean I'm not sure, but I have doubts, but I think that maybe, that's what surmise is. I think that when they're downloading, even, in fact, they could even misinterpret your spoken word for that matter, because I certainly see that all the time. Because they will interpret your vibration as well as your words, and they don't like any vibration that is beyond really low. So if you say good morning to someone, and you say it with a bit of a smile or a bit of an up-tempo where even if you're only faking it, they don't know the difference, because most of the time when I say good morning or good evening to someone to be pleasant and polite, just to keep the peace, shall we say, I may not be feeling really good, but I will try to say it that way. You put your energy into that, which is actually a mistake, because you're putting energy, positive energy, into something that doesn't want to receive positive energy and will interpret that in a negative manner. We'll see that as a threat. We'll see that as you competing at some sort of human personal level to where they are pushed down because they have to, because the technical beings want to be seen as the real best of the humans. That way they keep control of the reality, or even just control of the local area for that matter. Doesn't matter whether it's the demigods through to the possessed beings that are around you, because those that are around you are still of the same nationality as the demigods. They still come from the original same area where these technical beings were flourishing in the world at a given time. And I don't know what I'm talking about. I get little bits of information from people, and I get little bits of kind of like connection myself to where I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's what's really been happening. Perhaps it's been happening for a reasonable time. Myself, I tend to only think that I'm more associated with the timeline of the last few thousand years. In other words, to where that is my heritage, shall we say. You know, your, what's that word? What's that word? Heritage is not quite the right word. Ancestry, yeah, because they always have all these ads on the TV. In fact, you can send away your DNA, even in Australia. You can, they're always asking you to do this. They're always saying, stick a little cotton wool swab in your mouth. They send you these free envelopes. You can stick it in there, in a plastic bag in an envelope, send it back free of charge, and they will give you your ancestry. They'll give you all your past ancestry. I haven't done that. I have no interest, but they advertise it all the time, and no doubt a lot of people do that. And of course, you could probably look up your ancestry on the computer anyway. I haven't done that either. See, she's got my rose, see the rose, see? And the red nail polish too, come to think of it. They don't always do that, but I don't. I mainly go on the red lipstick, not the red nail polish. But in the past, you matched up as a woman. In the past, many years ago, you'd match up the lipstick with the nail polish. I would think. That video is called "Thorn in My Side." Thorn in my side, that's interesting. You could have a thorn in your side at a personal level, and you can have a thorn in your side at the matrix level. And also the matrix will see you as a thorn in their side, don't forget too, because they see human beings as a thorn in their side that would, if they were conscious, be openly in opposition to the technical beings and its technical matrix. So whilst they use you and need you to simulate this human reality, if you want to think of it that way, because they need the human thinking in order to keep this matrix looking human and comfortable and halfway normal, halfway decent really, they do really see you as a thorn in their side too. The lyrics of the song, I can hear it even though it's not loud. I want to run away from you because you're a thorn in my side. Run away from you, it's all that I can do. That's what the lyrics are saying, but I'm not quite sure about that. I don't know about that. You see, that's probably how you feel because it's too much. I don't know what I'm filming here. Thorn in my side, that's all you'll ever be. Yeah, that's not how I thought it was meant to be. I thought it was meant to be confide in me and let's see what we can be. But if it don't work out, then it will be thorn in my side. So that's just that they're downloading it. directly. See, who knows what all this is. I'm not supposed to be doing all this. I must be breaching copyright astronomically here with all these videos. But I am jumping. It's how I'm not showing the whole thing. I am jumping and fleeting, and but even so, there's a lot. And I don't even mean to put half it because I'm not that familiar with this video at all. I really ain't, so I can't keep the mobile up to the pace of the video. So by the time I move it up, it's on a different image, unfortunately, so it may not be coming across as good as what I would like. Oh, I don't see, I'm too slow. I should be familiar with this video. I should have watched it about 5 or 6 times before I do this, but I haven't. So that's the problem. So that is the problem, because I was really just going to have a chat, but the videos are playing. This is because this is not right, and I shouldn't be doing this, because it's like it's all one way. That means that instead of me talking to someone randomly, I'm making videos, but I'm getting nothing out of it. See how she's making the rose? Oh, making the rose. Making the rose, but they spoil those videos. They spoil that by putting it. And my sound must be all wrong too, because I'm moving the mobile all over the place. 1 minute it's in front of my face, the next minute it's down here. It is really pathetic, all video, isn't it, big boy? And long too. What is this? Don't even know what this video is. Oh, that's the seance table again. See, they know I like the seance table. But actually, you shouldn't be. I don't know if you're meant to be in contact with anything else, to be honest. I know that many people think you shouldn't, so I do tend to avoid. Even though human beings are really the real spiritual ones, in this reality we have black magic. And that to me is just the magic of the technical beings that are around. It's really technology, is black magic, to my way of thinking. That's what I think. Whereas everything else is of the humans. See how that was a rose too? There was a rose even in that video. See how they're just coming up and they're always putting that red rose there. Even though the video itself is black and white, as you can see. So it's kind of funny. I don't know. But this also could be someone's preoccupation with the afterlife, death and all that, that fear, that wanting to know because we don't know. So there is that too. See, that's why people want to have the seances and things and think they contact past ones and... But see, you only have the now. That's really the only power you have is in the now, in my opinion anyway. I could be wrong. But you only have the power in the now. And of course that will come from the past and could affect the future, shall we say. We all know that what you do today does affect tomorrow. That's where that we have that pumped into us even at a real level, much less even if it's matrix directed. But there is a reality to the human thinking that way too, and to because it's mainly only what the real humans do that actually has a real impact. The rest is all the technical beings trying to control us. That's how I now look at it. And I think this is so, So I don't know, but I better fold up here. This is too long and I've lost the whole track of it. I don't even know. I've lost the whole track of it. I'm missing out on the best visuals too on this video. I just want to use the visuals, but I don't even know, because I'm just trying to be arty, I guess, really. But I'm out of breath here. I need a drink. Okay. Hold on. See, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm missing the correct visuals because I'm not familiar with this video. I've not seen this one before. It just come up. But visually it is familiar to me in the sense that I relate to it, but I haven't seen it before. That's really all I can say. Just wait and see, and then I'll try to do something here without. See, it is about the same. Oh, see, I can't get it up. See, I don't want to breach copyright, so I only want to show a flash. But by the time I move the thing, I'll have to leave it. Perhaps I should just say what these videos are and get someone to look. But then again, see, there's no connection. You know, watching these videos and things, no connection. See, no connection. Not so sure about that. That was not. I'm not sure what all that is. I don't know what that is. See, it's a kind of. He's changed himself. That fella's changed himself. He's changed himself. He's changed himself. See, he's changed himself. It's the two of them. See how he changed. He's changed himself there for that video. Don't know what that means. Oh, I think I like that final thing. Yeah, he got her out of the fire there, I think. I rather like that. Don't like the fire. There's a lot of fire around, I don't know. Okay. These same videos coming up. What's going on here? This looks as though it could be the same videos. I thought I said that I lied to you. Oh, I think I've already said this. Well, I won't lie. I might get things wrong, but I won't lie to you. I really won't. Even if it means my loss, because I think the truth always comes out. And what's the point in interacting with someone if you can't speak your mind or can't, be open? I personally, unless you happen to be psychopathic, there really is no point in having that interaction. That's how I look at it. And I don't need someone on the other side of the world for psychopathic connection, because I have plenty of psychos around me. And they play it a lot harder and better than what the one from afar does. They're in a different class all their own. But if you care more or like someone else a lot more, the little things can impact you more because you care. I don't care about anyone or anything that's around me greatly in a way, if I was really honest about it. They only affect me because they intrude into your reality and create havoc at a physical level. Like if people are following you around, I missed that lyric, then that ruins your reality, ruins your life, ruins your your day or your night, as the case may be, because obviously it is night here. But Putty's curled up. See how now he's gone into the defensive, curled up, hiding? See, he's covering his face and curled up in a tight ball, not exposing, because I saw this on a cat video where they say that if they expose their belly and openly sprawl in front of you, that means they're very relaxed, very comfortable and feel very safe, because any animal, even in the wild, if it exposes its vulnerable parts or its belly or something, that means that it is very comfortable and not feeling threatened. Whereas if it curls up in a ball and hides its face, makes itself smaller and tries to make itself almost invisible, that means that it's being defensive and protective. You see, it's protecting its body. It's protecting its most vulnerable spots. You know, and that's what we do sometimes. That's what I would like to do. You expose yourself too much, you have to be confident that you are safe, that you're not exposing yourself to someone that will, take advantage of you, shall we say. That's the danger. And that's the thing. I better stop here because I am getting confused and probably losing my point. Even that stuffed koala bear seems to be looking at me as if to say, I think you are not making the point clear. And the videos are now running haywire because I don't know which ones are coming up, so I can't use them to express or make a point or anything. I have to change my hand again. It's wobbly. I think I did this before, so and that's funny. Funny. They almost seem to have a life of their own sometimes. That's because I'm relating very strongly to these videos while I'm filming them, even though I haven't seen most of them before. Why are they repeating them? Oh, this is the one, don't mess with a missionary man. I only heard this a few days ago and I was vaguely familiar with it. But vaguely familiar with it. See, he's making, with the snake, making and creating the demigod. The lady, the blonde artificial one. So, creating see the red lips being created out of a mould? See, it's like a mould. I hadn't seen this before. See how it's getting created out of a mould, out of wax almost. It's showing you that it's been created. It will end up being a artificial, technical being, a demigod, maybe. Because these are demigods. They're your music demigods, Now, I'm not sure what this means. See, the imagery does, I don't understand it, but see, it's showing you that it's ancient too, because see how there's an ancient statue. See. Oh, I better not do. Don't mess with a missionary man. Don't mess with a man that has a mission. That's how it struck me, because obviously you think of a missionary man as being a priest or something, but essentially I'm now saying that I shouldn't mess with any man that is on a mission, because they will be suspicious of you, and but then again, if they are also being a little bit screwed, because I think they are, that's just my opinion. So he's hypnotising me there with the pendulum, hypnotising with that pendulum. I missed that. Just using the videos to express my mixed up emotions at this present time. And this has been the case for about a year and 9 months now. At least I've been aware of it since then. Before that, I was not consciously aware of anything in a relationship, because relationships can change too. That's another thing. Like I say, you can cross over from friendship into something that's a little bit more deeper. Now, you may not intend for that to happen, and you may not even think that it's wise. Certainly, I don't think it's wise now. At the time, I thought, hey. And you even convince yourself that at a vibration level that it may be worth going out on a limb, as they say, taking a chance. But also, you like those pleasant feelings, that anticipation of something that you have missed out on, maybe. In this reality, you've missed out on it. Don't mess with a missionary, man. Yeah, because they will control you, see. So she's totally controlled, like totally being manipulated. And, whether she's really an artificial technical being, but, they're trying to incorporate the human into the artificial technical being, to take it over and to use it, you see, because it's being used, and it in the past they haven't seen it as an advantage, but now they might see it as an advantage to do that. Might see that as an advantage. Might see that as an advantage. But all human beings have a single personality. But because human beings are not just one, in other words, they're not just, because they're thinking and are influenced by a lot and have a lot of likes and dislikes, they have many aspects to their personality. You know what I mean? So, whereas the Matrix people, it's still their same personality. It's like me. I've always had a bit of a fixation on blonde hair. Okay? Fixation on blonde hair. And, at a physical level, like in an observation, superficial level, that was a weird noise coming from outside. Sounds as though it's in the backyard, but that's not physically possible. But that has been stable throughout my life, since I was a child. So most things in my personality, apart from environmental influences, don't change. So your personality and all the different things that you may like or dislike or be attracted to or not attracted to, they're all part of your personality, and it doesn't really change. Not unless but you react and change if something new comes into the matrix or into your reality, or just around you, in other words. But the Matrix people, they don't have a personality. They're technical beings. They just incorporate everything around them into them. They change their whole personality. Like how I said, I've always been fixated on blonde hair, rightly or wrongly, positively or negatively. And that's, of course, only at a woman level too, not at a male level, generally. But Matrix people, they will pretend to have a fascination with, say, blonde hair 1 year, but the next year it could be black, the next year it could be red, the next year it could be pink, the next year it could be blue, it could be green, it could be any colour that they download or see that a human being is focusing on, shall we say. That's how I would look at it, or thinking about. Because if they see you think and then focus on something too long, they will see that as something positive that they should use in this matrix. They will use it because they will think it must be an attractive point. But it won't appeal to them personally. It appeals to you personally, or it doesn't appeal to you personally, but you will focus on it positively or negatively a bit too strong. And they will see that, and then they will incorporate that or take that into themselves in order to get attention and appear to be more real, more human, and just basically so that they steal the limelight from the real humans in a way, I suppose. And sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it a bit wrong, I would imagine. But they usually get on top of it because the technology is vast, and they understand that if they put it in an appealing manner, if they can incorporate some of your ideas in a seductive manner, then they'll probably be successful. And this will be true of the demigods, They will... they're flashing that screen at me, something terrible there. When they flash those lights really a lot, that's trying to hypnotise you on the screen. I can't show it, but if I show it, it really gets you right in. Really gets you right in. It gets you right in. See, it's actually mesmerising me because they're flashing between the images to try and get me to watch. They want me to focus on that group that I've been watching, but they're talking now. It's an interview, so they want me to focus on them and give them more power, you see. And they actually completely mesmerise me. Like my eyes are almost like, I'm almost hypnotised, and I have to stop. I'm going to have to turn that off because they're actually older now. See how I'll just show them for a second because I don't want to breach copyright, but see how they're older now? That's when they were young, but see how she's older now? See? That's like her now probably, or maybe a few years ago. Because like I say, these videos are 30 years old at least. See how she's got the loop earrings, see? See the loop earrings? Because I focus on loop earrings. But it doesn't matter. I better turn this off because it's getting too complicated for me here anyway. Getting too complicated for me. It's actually fascinating, but at the same time, it means that I'm giving them power. See, I actually want to watch it. I actually want to... the imagery here is very strong. They're very good. I said respect. You see, I don't get no respect, so they're mocking. But the imagery is very powerful on this group, and the images they're flashing at me are very captivating, very drawing me in. Can't describe it. I'd have to show it, but I breach copyright by showing it. Yeah, I can't do it. But now they're flashing those lights really strong at me, which is like the Matrix does when you go out on the road with the extra bright lights and things. See, it's never going to cry again. They just put there. Because well, I don't know. I don't think that, obviously we don't like crying too much, which we, but if you never cry again, that would be more like, depends on what you cry for too, I suppose you see, but I don't know. It seems like a high price sometimes to, they just flash that bird of paradise. I can't believe that. In between that, they flash that bird of paradise thing. There's some sort of hypnotic control going on here. You know how that lady come and cut all those bird of paradise things in front of me in that video? I actually had it in the video. I think I put it out. Or maybe I didn't. I'm not sure if I did. But I was standing up waiting to get the coffee, and she come up and she started cutting all those bird of paradise things that I'd filmed. And I focus on them every time I come in there because I got fascinated, you see. See, I got fascinated because because Patrick had told me that they bird of paradise flowers that they're supposed to look like a bird, and they do. And so I saw them outside the coffee service station. Oh, I'm just flashing here. See, they're I don't know. I'm overdoing. I don't want to breach the copyright. You see, I've got to be careful. This is not a video, but it's oh. Anyway, it's reassuring that that was actually reassuring because say when I look at the demigods and they seem so young and so painted up, I feel they make me feel inferior, especially at my age. But now that I see that they're older too now, that's younger. But see, that's them now. That's an interview with them now. I'm not sure what year it is. I'll have to look at it. Oh God. What has he got written on himself there? I see there's a lot in this, I can tell you, but it doesn't matter. It's wrong to be fascinated with the demigods. But you see, they're going over all those songs, and this is like a documentary. It's just come up. I didn't put it on because the videos are finished. But you see, it's wrong for me to be fascinated with them and their videos, but at the same time it's reasonable because it is downloaded from my kind. And it is. So it's reasonable. It's reasonable. It's reasonable. It's reasonable. It's reasonable. It's reasonable because it's showing me what they've done to me and what they're doing. So it's like that. So I have no images really flashing there. I would show it because I'm trying to make a point. A bit like when I was going to do the videos on the music videos. Like remember I did that human thing, but I didn't get onto all the others. I really didn't. I don't know. See, I've got to try. See, there's too many images here, and I'm getting too impressed with it because I'm relating to it, and it seems to be relevant, but I don't know. But see, I look. I should have folded this up an hour ago. I don't even know how long. Oh, jeez. But it is. I don't even know most of those songs. I don't know those ones. Julia. Oh, I don't know that. I'm not getting any synchronicity from that. Oh, okay. He said it's a Russian version of 1984. I actually heard that. So that song is a Russian version of 1984. What is this? Oh, I don't know. See, they talk about it as though... It says, be yourself tonight. But see, they're not themselves. They're downloading from human beings. See how they even got the audacity, the hide, to say that you've got to be yourself, because then it looks as though they are themselves. See, it's all wrong somehow, but it's not real at all. And yet it gives the impression of being really real. It gives the impression of being really real. I've got to be careful here. Got to give the impression of being really real here. I'm just trying to avoid the copyright by swinging away and swinging around. I'm not going to even go with that video because it's just too hard to make some. I've got to fold up. This is ridiculous. Even the cat has had me because he's curled up and protects. See how he moved? He said he's had me because he said you've went on for too long. He said I'm completely covering my face, covering myself. I don't want nothing to do with you. Is that how you feel? That you don't want nothing to do with me because I've perhaps said too much?
express too much, not put it right, being too open, maybe not coming across as valid. I don't know. See, this is so sad. It is for me anyway. But also, I am fucked. I don't really know. Better fold up. I better say it's good night. And it's just too much, this false reality. It really is. And, it's such a pity that there's no one real to relate to or connect to at all. Just he's had it. See, I take that as a reflection of others, but I don't know. See, it's just like as though I think that a few human beings are just being downloaded right at this last. That's what I think, but I could have that wrong. That's how I see it on the screen. But it's how I feel and think anyway, so if I use it, see, the images that I'm getting, I can't even express them off the screen because it just shows the possession at the highest level with the demigods and stuff, and yet they're expressing the human thing. They're going over all the songs, but and it's almost as though you don't want to dislike them. You don't want to dislike the demigods because you relate so much to them, because they are interpreting your thinking into the music. That's the problem. That's the danger. That's the trick, and it really is very hard to even I find it very hard to dislike them. And yet they really feel negative towards me in a way. See, I can't. See, you see what I'm saying? I can't do that. See, I can't do that. I can't do it. See, it's just, I don't know. See, they're going over. I'm too far away from the screen to get the I'm missing the images. It said we two are one. See, they've copied me. We two are one. I can't tell you the others. See, we two are one. See how it's coming up in front of me? Can you see it? See? See, they're saying that it's them that is one because they're the group, the trio. But they're not saying that at all. They're saying that I am one with them. See, that's the thing. I know that. They know it. But if I say it to another person that doesn't comprehend this, or that isn't experiencing it and doesn't know what's happening in this reality, it doesn't make sense. But it is what is happening. It is real. It is the bottom line, really. There's a lot more to it. I don't know how they do it all, but it's because I don't know how they transfer human thinking onto the screen and interpret it. It's clever and it's advanced technology, but like I said a million times before, seduced by yourself, your own ideas, what appeals to you, and what a combination of your mixed up thinking ends up coming on the screen and interpreted through all this. Music videos and movies, of course, too, but music videos on focusing on that at the moment. But and they show all the old stuff as though these people are for real, because they will go to any lengths to prove that they are valid, that they are the real deal, when they're not. They're not the real deal. I don't think so. I really don't think they are.
See, now they're mocking and saying they saved the world today because they know that they don't want to save the world. They want to take the world down. They already have, because their version is a technical hell world. That's quite frankly because they're technical beings. I have to say good night here. I can't go on.